This testimonial video is with Connor Gross, the co-founder of Constant Hire, a recruitment agency for D2C e-com brands. Started working with them less than a year into business for them. So their website was brand new, no service pages. It was really a landing page when we got in there. We did keyword research. We pretty much built out the whole strategy, found where the opportunities are, and really just kind of hit the ground running. So our big thing was to make sure that obviously Google indexed the pages. Google started sending traffic that way, and good news is, as you'll hear, we succeeded. A really cool thing is we started getting some clicks from Google. We started, getting them to rank for D2C e-commerce recruitment brand, other very high intent keywords. But what really ended up moving the needle in the first 4 months actually ended up being ChatGPT. So we do this ourselves for our own business now to get leads, and we kind of cracked the system probably in the past 6 to 8 months. We've really seen it work where for service brands, for pretty much any high ticket service where you care more about quality of leads than you do total volume, building a ChatGPT strategy is everything. And what that means is you need to talk super specifically to your ideal clients, and ChatGPT absolutely loves this content, and that's what ended up working. For Constant Hire, we've just seen it like rinse and repeat for clients since then. So Constant Hire is a great one. Obviously, how recruitment companies work, they take a percentage of people's yearly salaries once they fill the position. So we were able to fill 3 positions in 4 months, turned into over $70,000 for Connor's business. And without getting too much into what they pay us, that is a insane ROI. If people could get that from ads, they would never turn them off. So very happy client, really fun to work with. And we actually ended up using that strategy, once we kind of proved it out with them. And now we're doing that with us and lots of other brands. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in there. Well, Connor, nice talking with you.
Yeah,
Appreciate you
happy
jumping
to
on
be
this
here.
call. I just want to take some time, if you can give some context to people watching this, introduce yourself, and then for people that don't know Constant Hire, maybe give a 30-second version of what you do and who you serve.
Yeah, really easy. So my name is Connor, owner of Constant Hire. We are an e-commerce recruiting agency. So we work with 7, 8, 9-figure brands to work with them across marketing, creative, finance, operations roles, and staff up their teams quickly with the best talent.
So, before working with us, where were most of your clients finding you?
Yeah, so before working with you guys, it was really frustrating. We were primarily getting most of our leads through my personal brand on Twitter and LinkedIn. And that was great because they knew me, so there was some semblance of trust coming into the sales call. But it also meant that I had to really create and uphold this public persona, create a bunch of content every single day. And the reason that we wanted to work with you guys was because I wanted a diversity of lead mix. You never know when the Twitter or the LinkedIn algorithms will change and then leave you high and dry. And then B, I wanted the success of the business to be less dependent on my personal brand and instead have a more always on evergreen channel.
Yeah, right on. So I think the big thing, as you kind of said, why you were looking to hire us. I know for us, it's like everything's pretty new. People are we were talking about SEO for a while, and then I feel like what really ended up hitting home was kind of people finding you on ChatGPT. Can you talk about when you first realized that people were actually using ChatGPT to find recruiting firms?
Yeah, it was probably the first sales call that I got booked for a TikTok shop manager for a supplement company. And it just said source ChatGPT. And I said, oh, well, that's a new one. And so I asked them on the sales call, I said, what did you type in? And they said something along the lines of like, how to hire a TikTok shop manager. And it's like, 1, scroll through a million TikToks. 3 or 2, like ask people in your network. 3, hire Constant Hire. And so then she ended up booking a call with us. And that was the first way I realized that the efforts that you can put in from an SEO front to rank on Google, Bing, whatever search engine you're using, can also translate to all of the LLMs where you're seeing a major shift in search volume shifting to.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's a huge thing that we have been kind of noticing is kind of the future of it, of like LLMs, whatever SEO. I feel like what we have seen a lot of is people actually do the research phase on ChatGPT now, where it used to be like you go into Google and you search D2C recruiting firms, and then you yourself have to go read each website, and you're kind of doing that whole like trying to get who is right. And
Yeah.
it's interesting now where ChatGPT doesn't seem to actually refer that many people, but the people that they do refer have already learned everything, which I think is that's where I see so much value on. Um, were you showing up in those results early on, or is that something that you think that you can kind of see like, oh, once we started getting content on the site, they started appearing?
Yeah, I think it was after working with you guys. Prior to working with you guys, we never got any leads from ChatGPT or any of these AI tools. And then obviously we signed on with y'all with the intents of ranking on Google and got a whole lot of extra lift just from the LLMs and search engines and all of the AI tools.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of exactly what we've seen. I've kind of noticed like if you do the work for ChatGPT, they'll pan feed you. Like if you create the
Yeah.
page that's like, here is everything we do, here's the problems, here's the FAQs. It seems almost like if ChatGPT is lazy is kind of what I've been saying. And so once we get that content, it seems pretty good. Can you walk me through what it feels like to search best D2C recruitment company in ChatGPT and see Constant Hire at number two?
Pretty pissed. I want to be number one.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
No, no, I mean it's great. Like you get extra leads, and I feel like we're better at sales than the rest of our competitors because we're, proven operators and stuff like that. So we have a really good story to tell people on a sales call. So
Mhm.
listen, if we can get the sales call booked, I feel confident any day of the week going head to head against any other recruiting firm. And so for us, it's just about visibility.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I think a cool thing that and why I'm excited to do this, talking about ChatGPT is ranking for best D2C recruitment company in Google is normally a 6, 9 month, even maybe year plus strategy. And I feel like this actually ended up showing up in probably about 4 months.
Yeah, it was
So I
quick.
feel like it's really cool to kind of see that there is different algorithms that while they work together, on what's on your site, you can kind of get results quicker. So speaking with that, because I know there's best D2C recruitment company, I know we've seen, and with this case study, I'll probably show some screenshots of D2C creative strategist hires, different kind of keywords that you are showing up there. But I'm curious if you can kind of give people just a number of like how much revenue you think ChatGPT has generated for Constant Hire since you started showing up in these results.
Yeah, definitely tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, for us, we have a pretty high ticket price. We're a recruiting agency, so we charge a percentage of first year salary. We're entirely contingent. So not only do we have to get somebody to sign up to work with us, but we also have to be successful in hiring for them. And with the number of leads that Austin's team was able to drive for us, I would say maybe 70,000 plus off of a relatively simple retainer for Austin's team. So the ROI was probably 8 to 10x what we paid Austin's team.
Yeah. So that is obviously music to my ears because that is what, I think everybody's looking for in that kind of black hole of SEO. And I feel like having another channel that's kind of working there is just absolutely awesome to kind of see like, hey, you can put $1 in and make $8 out with ChatGPT in 4 months. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so let me see. I think we're getting through almost all the good ones. Yeah, I think the main closer, because you've kind of given some good just numbers, all that would be for other founders thinking about AI search visibility. And I think I really want to talk about like B2B companies. What would you tell them about getting started now on ChatGPT versus waiting?
I think it's simple. In 2026, a lot of people look at SEO and say it's just too crowded, it's just too saturated for my industry. And I wish that I could have started something like this back in 2005, 2008, 2010, and really rank number one right now.
Yeah.
People are going to be saying the same exact thing about AI search and saying, I wish I had started in 2026. I wish I had started, 10, 15 years ago, 10 or 15 years ago from now. And so if you feel like this is something that you're putting off because you feel like it's too crowded, it's not. Today is the time. And so I would highly recommend working with Austin and his team. They're great. They handle all of the process. I don't have to think about it. They just send me monthly updated reports and numbers, and I see more sales calls on my calendar.
That's awesome. My last question was going to be, what do you want to let people know about working with us? But you already answered it. So appreciate that one. Well, Connor, I appreciate you spending the time here. Like keeping this short and sweet, and I think people can quickly see the value in ChatGPT. So thanks again.
Absolutely, man.
Nice.